everyone, and welcome back to Magnolia Homeschool. I am Rebecca, and today's video we're going to be talking about one of my favorite curriculums to use with the kids. It is our grammar curriculum, and it's called Fix It Grammar, and it's from IEW, Institute for Excellence in Writing. So I'm going to give you guys a full review on this curriculum. This is our second year using it. If that's something you're interested in seeing, go ahead and stick around, and I'm going to show you guys what it's all about. So last year we did book 1. This year we're on book 2. The book 2 is called Robin Hood. I have the teacher's manual here with me, and I also have, but I want to show you guys first. Really quickly, I didn't purchase the student book. I downloaded it, printed it, and then bound it myself at home. When you buy the teacher's manual, I think it's around 24 something, maybe 24 and some change, then you get the download for free for the student's manual. So I have 4 students all doing the same book because we all started last year, and this doesn't really go by grade level, it goes by year that you have used it. So if you have never used it before, they do recommend that you start with book number 1, because there's going to be things that they start off with in book 1 that they're not going to start off with in book 2. It kind of like gradually goes through all the books like that. So if you've never done it before, they do suggest you start with book 1. So even my 7th grader, he was 7th grade last year, this year he's 8th grader, but last year when we started, he started at the same grade as my 3rd grade, same level, sorry, or same book as my 3rd grader. So this year, my 4th grader, 5th grader, 7th, and 8th grader are all doing book 2. We actually enjoy all doing it together because we get to do it in our afternoon basket. We get to just sit around. It takes about 10 minutes, really doesn't take us long at all to do this curriculum. So it takes us about 10 minutes. We do it all together. The kids really enjoy it. It's something that they actually look forward to doing. And if we happen to get behind and skip a day, it's a 4-day curriculum, or it's a 4-day layout. So if we need, we can catch it up on Friday, on the 5th day of the week. And it's not hard to catch up, even if we have to do 2 in 1 day. It still doesn't take more than 15-20 minutes max. And that's having conversation about it and everything. So this is very quick but very effective. So in this curriculum, the kids are going to be reading a sentence, editing the sentence, finding a vocabulary word, and they're also going to be rewriting the sentence correctly in their notebook. So you will need to purchase a notebook. I just have these spiral notebooks that I got from Walmart. Very simple and just a little, I want to say a couple dollars for these notebooks, but you can get like a fun notebook. It can be any kind of notebook, but they do recommend a spiral notebook, and in the front they're going to do their rewrite, and in the back they're going to do vocabulary. So that is just one simple notebook for this subject. It also comes with these cards. They are, if you buy the student manual, I think they come attached in the back of the book. I printed ours. I just laminate them. As you can see, I haven't cut them out yet, but I usually will cut them out, and they will keep them in a Ziploc bag, and it's just like a quick reference flashcard to do their editing and to help them remember what they're supposed to be doing. There's also a glossary section in the back of the book, and that is just going to have all the information. If the kids need something to be reminded of, they can just go find it in the back of the book. So they have that section as well. Okay, so in the front of the book, it just starts off with a welcome section, as any curriculum would. And then as you get into the actual lessons, they show you what the student sees in their book, and I'll actually put it side by side to compare it for you. But the teacher's manual, it looks like this. We just have week 1, and it's going to have the instruction that you need to give the student for the whole week. And then each day has a section. In the teacher's manual, it's going to have its own page. However, in the student's manual, I'll pull it up for y'all real quick. It's just going to all, day 1 through 4 is going to be on one page, and the student just does the rewrite. But the teacher has an entire page for each day, because it's going to have like the lesson in it. It's going to tell you what fixes there were. Side over here have the definition for the vocabulary word, but they do want you to have the student look it up in the dictionary. However, sometimes in the dictionary there can be multiple uses, and so just so you have the right way that or the right definition that they want used here. They do have it in your book. You can also choose, there are some days where I don't make my kids look it up in the dictionary. I'll just write the vocabulary word on the board and have them copy it. So you have that option as well. You can kind of just tweak it and use the curriculum any way you want, you know, as with any curriculum. But for this, that's sometimes what I do. If I need them to have a little extra alone time, then I'll have them look it up in the dictionary, and I'll tell them to, you know, read the sentence and then look at the vocabulary word definition in the dictionary and see which definition fits it best. And I kind of like see if they get it right, and we go over it and we have a conversation about it. So let me just go to week 1 in the student book. They have the same exact page here. As I give the lesson, the kids just read along with me. And then for, like I showed you guys, the teacher's manual is going to have each day. Hi Brooks, you guys hear Brooks? Each day will have its own page with the lesson to talk about with the student, and then the student's work is going to be all on the same page. So days 1 through 4 will be on the same page. And as you can see, my student has already done this one. I know there's a shadow, sorry guys. We actually have a whole hurricane going on outside right now, so it's kind of dark in here. I don't really have a lot of daylight because it's very rainy and windy, but so it's a little dark as I show you guys that. But at the top of the page, it tells them all the things they need to check off and do. So it'll say vocab or vocabulary, so it reminds them to do the vocabulary word, which is the word here in bold. And then it tells them, do you need to indent the, you know, check for indentions, check for capitals, end marks, articles, nouns, and who, which clauses. That's all at the top up here. And they also have those cards that I laminated to go through as well. We just chose not to cut them out yet. Definitely we do read this and make sure we kind of go down the list and make sure that we're not missing anything. And they do 1 day at a time. As you can see, I've checked off their work as they've done it. And then after they edit the sentence, write the vocabulary word, which goes, like I said, in the back of their spiral bound book. I hope it's focusing even though it's dark in here. We talk about the edits and we talk about the grammar notations and things like that, and then they go into their spiral notebook and they will rewrite the sentence 1 day at a time. So as you can see, the very first day I wrote the sentence for them because I wanted to give them a good example of what I expect of them, how I expect neatness, and how I expect them to skip lines and indent, capitalize, and things like that. And then also just to kind of show them that when you're writing, when you're doing your rewrite, you're not putting your grammar notations in your book. You're just simply rewriting the sentence in the correct way. So like if we, on this sentence, it didn't have a capital I at the beginning of a sentence for day 1. So I wanted them to recognize how we did capitalize it in our rewrite. We edit here, we note our grammar, and then we rewrite in our spiral. So I did do day 1 for them to show them exactly what I expected of them. This is Braden's notebook, and so you will see that he does not skip lines. He just prefers not to. I like them to skip lines. I hope you guys can kind of see what we're doing here. There we go. He likes to write in cursive as well, so that's totally up to them. They're also getting handwriting practice out of this. By the end of this year, I think it's 33 weeks. Let me check for you really quick. Yeah, there's 33 weeks. So by the end of this week, or this year, they would have rewritten the entire book, Robin Hood. Let me go back and tell you guys really quick. One of the reasons I do like them to skip lines, and I do have my younger students skip lines, they kind of don't have a choice. I let my older ones do, like, if they can write neatly, and there's not a lot of things that I have to correct in here, then I don't mind them not skipping lines and just kind of writing how they write. But for my younger ones who write a little bit messier, I need them to skip lines because it helps me read it. It helps me correct if there's anything that I need to correct. It helps if there's a lot of erasing to do. We're not erasing more than 1 line if we need to correct just 1 word. Whereas if you could see here, if I were going to go to erase 1 word here, I would probably accidentally erase more than 1 word. So just, you know, in this case, I don't really have a lot of correcting to do for him, but for my younger students, I definitely do. So I do have them all skip lines, and it just makes it easier to grade, check, and it just keeps their work really, really neat. Yeah, so that is their rewrite and their vocabulary words in their spiral notebook. Okay, so they also have the glossary in the back. It's on just a plain paper because I printed it at home. I'm not really sure how the printed version looks because I've never bought it. Because I have to buy 4 copies, I always just print the PDF because, like I said, it comes free. The PDF comes free for the student manual when you buy the teacher's manual. And then it also has in the back of each student manual a certificate for when they finish the curriculum at the end of the year. So this is what I've done. I've just, you know, laminated, trimmed, and bound at home. Like I said, it also has their flashcards that we have laminated. You can cut them, keep them in Ziplocs. At this point, we have just kept them all together. We haven't cut them up yet. Last year, we did cut them up and we kept them in Ziplocs, and I just kind of found it to get a little bit unorganized. My kids didn't keep them neat or in order, so it's a lot easier for them keeping them uncut. So as of right now, we're not going to cut them. If we change our minds, we'll just cut them. It's not a big deal. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my teacher's manual now that I've showed you guys what the spiral notebook is used for. I've showed you what the student manual looks like. Now I'm just gonna look at my teacher's manual and kind of just flip through and show you guys a little bit of the progression throughout and how they teach the things in this curriculum. Okay, so as you know, I've already showed you guys how this page matches our students' pages. However, in the teacher's manual, you're gonna have these side notes over here, and that's just going to be things for you to look at. It just has a couple of side notes for you to just kind of like have and keep in mind. It may be just a little snippet for you to use in your lesson. It could be a range of things, but they also have a section called Grammar Lovers. If your student is a little bit of advanced in it and they're really interested in it, you can kind of go over that kind of stuff with them. There's teacher's notes and things like that. I'm just going to try to zoom in really quick and show you guys what that looks like. It's okay. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Teacher's notes. We have Grammar Lovers. So like I said, that is all up to you on how you want to use those side notes. The lesson itself is definitely just that first page. The side notes are for you to have extra. And so like I showed you, each day will have its own page. So this is week 5, day 1. You can also see just how we have progressed some. We started off kind of simple, and then we're just going to go ahead and pick up the pace throughout the book. We have the words that are capitalized. They're going to tell you what word it is, why it's capitalized. So whether it be the first word of a sentence or whether it be a proper noun. We have homophones. So let's see. Okay, and then another part that I wanted to kind of touch on is how they will, like for grammar notations, if there's a verb, they'll ask us which of these is the helping verb, and it tells you ask which of these are the helping verbs. Answer can, which helps out hit. Kind of like takes out all the guesswork. You don't have to be an English major to figure this kind of stuff out. The teacher's manual definitely has it all laid out for you. Teaching grammar was something that I was kind of nervous about because, to be totally honest, I knew that there was a whole lot of things that I just did not remember from when I was in school, and so it kind of made me a little bit nervous to teach it. But when I got my hands on it, I was able to kind of read through it and see just how laid out everything was. It's literally open and go. You open to the page that you're on, you read what you're supposed to read, and you do it. So how we usually do this is I will, on Monday, give my students their lesson and we'll go over it together. And then each day I will say, okay guys, time for grammar. Go ahead and edit your sentence, do your vocabulary word, and then come let me check your work. And so that can be done at their own pace. They all start around the same time, and then they work at their own pace to finish their editing. Once they are done, you can see how I had those little red check marks in our book over here in his spiral notebook. But I will check to make sure that they did all the fixes and all the grammar notations. I'll make sure they got the right vocabulary word, or that they copied the vocabulary word correctly from the board, and that all their work is neat. And then I'll go ahead and tell them, okay, you got it all right. Let's talk about all the things that we marked. Tell me why we capitalized. Why did we indent? Why did we circle this homophone? Why are there quotations here? Things like that. Why is this an adjective? What word does it describe? Is this a proper noun or is this a common noun? And I don't have to wonder what those questions are because I have all of that here on this day that we are working on. So after they have done their edit and they come to me, they let me check it. They've, I check their vocab word, and then I'll tell them, okay, go do your rewrite, and then they'll do their rewrite, and then they have to come back to me again, and I check their rewrite. I want to make sure their work is neat. I want to make sure that they did all the corrections that they had, noted down here, and just that everything lines up as it should be. And then I give them a little sticker on their planner. I just kind of like check it off for them, give them a little smiley face, and tell them they did a great job. And that was that's it for the day. So like I said, that takes us 10-15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes if we decide to double up on a day. And one of the reasons we may double up is just to kind of like say, well, we have a field trip coming up, so let's double up on this day. So that's kind of why I say that. But it is a 4-day layout. You can make this quicker if you would want. If I wanted my 8th grader to do 2 or 3 sentences a day, I could definitely ignore the day 1 thing and just kind of say, hey, you have to do 3 sentences a day. And I can get him to go through this curriculum much quicker, and then hopefully get him through all the books before he graduates. So that's an option, and I kind of thought about that for his high school years, but as of right now, I'm going to keep him just on schedule with the other kiddos. Just makes it easier for me to plan out their days. Plus, he has a really heavy workload already. He just has a whole lot of things, especially grammar and writing, that he already does. And this is just meant to be something fun, an extra reading thing for them, because they're reading the book, editing it, rewriting it. So it just gives them the handwriting practice, spelling practice. They'll learn to spell words that they see within the book, their vocabulary, just all the things that they're going to learn from them. So I don't feel the need to make him double up. As I said, it's just meant to be something fun and extra for them. It's not their only grammar curriculum. So we use this kind of like as a supplement, I guess, or in addition to the Good and the Beautiful. And Brennan, he's 8th grade, he is using a Beka because that's kind of what we plan on using for high school. So I wanted to start him in 8th grade this year. So he's just doing this kind of like for fun on the side. It's just extra work. I want them to be really strong writers. I want them to have a lot of background in writing. So that is definitely something I don't mind adding on. It's just a little quick 10-minute subject. So this has 33 weeks of daily passages, 132 vocabulary words. It has clear teacher's notes. It has a grammar glossary. You're going to explore a grammar concept. You're going to fix it, locate and fix errors, discuss it, copy it. It's taught in context. Repetition ensures mastery. Editing skills transfer better to writing. So that's just kind of like all the advantages and how it works and all that's included here that is kind of just stated on the back of the book. I'll go ahead and give you guys a little glimpse of that really quick if you want to screenshot or whatever you got to do to take a look at that later on. But this is definitely something that we absolutely love, and it even says here, successfully learn grammar in only 15 minutes a day. I'm not kidding you. It takes 10 to 15 minutes. And if my kids are really on point, it's definitely 10 minutes. There are days where we have to discuss a little bit extra, and so those days might take 15 minutes, but like I said, very quick. And I just remembered there's one more thing I wanted to show you guys. In the teacher's manual, at the end of the 4th day, there is a section that shows you what the rewrite should look like. I forgot to show you guys that. And then after that, there's a scope and sequence in the back if you needed that for reference or whatever. Did I show you? Yeah. So here is, your scope and sequence pages in the back. And that's going to wrap up this video. I hope this helped you in some way, inspired you, motivated you, or encouraged you in some way. If it did, give this video a thumbs up. I sure hope you hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you. Be sure to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any further uploads. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.